right, let's talk about the big payoff, that being Emeka Egbuka. Now, we have news out of the state of Washington, okay? They are going to push back their football season for high school to March of 2021, which means that the number one receiver in the nation in the 2021 recruiting class is probably not going to play his senior year, okay? He said to 247 Sports, "I'm still working on a final decision. I feel the NCAA might come out and say recruits can't early enroll anyway. So that would make the decision easier, but I need to get that ring." He wants a 2A state championship ring. "We were so close last year," and they were, "and he's on the verge of breaking some state records. And he would really like to play his senior season," which I would like to see him play as well. He also has been speaking with Caleb Williams, 5-star quarterback committed to Oklahoma regularly. He's told me as much on this show, Williams did. And he knows that Williams is planning to go down, take a visit to Oklahoma in August. And he would like to visit with him and bring JT Tuimoloau. Okay. That would mean that three of the top 6 players in the country would all visit Oklahoma right around preseason camp. And one of those guys would be committed, and one of those guys is a quarterback, and one of those guys really wants to play with both of those dudes and has been out here recruiting. Now, the reason that he's trying to get down to Oklahoma is that his mom's been to Clemson, his father's been to Ohio State. Both of those are on his list of suitors along with Washington, where they visited before. Oklahoma's the only place that he has not visited, and he really wants to get down there. And since, meetings with coaches aren't allowed during the dead period, still trying to figure out how this would work and how to finalize getting down there, because Oklahoma made quite a dent with their virtual visit, what they were able to do. And for perspective here, on this show, we had Danny Stutzman say, "Hey man, I don't know how they came to understand that I like muscle cars, but they got a suite of muscle cars onto Owen Field to show me for my virtual visit." So if that's what they're doing for Danny Stutzman, you can imagine what they might be doing for Emeka Egbuka. Now, his finalists are his finalists, and he's not really interested in ranking them, but he does talk with not just coaches there like Ty Grisham, but Joe Nada, who is expected to be the number one wide receiver for Clemson this year, and DJ Uyunglele, who is from the West Coast. At Ohio State, of course, there's Coach Brian Hartline, wide receivers coach, Ryan Day, and Corey Dennis, the strength and conditioning coach, Mickey Mariota over there. He's talking with Julian Fleming. They're putting him in contact with all these folks. I mean, at Oklahoma, he gets regular contact with Riley and Gundy, Mario Williams. We can see how everybody is trying to lure this dude. And between he and Tuimoloau, you have 2 of the biggest dominoes left to fall in the 2021 recruiting cycle. Now, as a composite 5-star and a consensus 5-star, I'm normally just going to be interested in what you choose to do. But knowing that Egbuka is really going to play a part in which one of these classes has something to say in the future in a meaningful way for a number of storylines is more interesting to me. So for Ohio State, it puts them closer to chasing that mark of 324.62, which is the highest ranked recruiting class in rankings history. 2014 Florida with 28 commitments, right? We know that Nick Saban and Alabama are chasing that as well, and they've got over 280 points after picking up a 5-star defensive tackle yesterday. And they could take as many as 27 commits here, and that's why that's interesting. Right? For Oklahoma, winning a guy like Egbuka means that you have 2 out of the 3 last number 1 wide receivers committed, and eventually we think signing at a time when Oklahoma's put back-to-back wide receivers into the NFL draft in the first round. And Dennis Simmons has been one of the best at his position over the past 5 years, if not the best at his position over the past 5 years, since coming from Washington State, where he coached with Mike Leach. And then there's this aspect of Clemson, who is probably going to get a win. fairly soon. But getting another win on the offensive side of the ball would be such a big deal for them because they lost the 2 defensive commits in Corey Foreman and Jordan Hancock. In between there, they were able to land Will Shipley, who's the best all-purpose back available from North Carolina. And I think that adding an Egbuka to what is going to be the heir apparent of DJ Uyunglele, along with a guy like Demarcus Bowman, is really going to set them up for the 3-headed monster that they are so used to having. This year it's going to be Travis Etienne, Joe Nada, or Amari Rodgers, depending on how you want to categorize that, and of course Trevor Lawrence. And I think being able to get him on campus for Oklahoma is the win, right? Because if you get him on campus, and let's say you're able to get him on campus when somebody else isn't able to get him on campus, that's going to matter. That said, he's been to Ohio State, and he's been to Clemson, and he's been to Washington. I think he just wants to hit all 4 before he makes a decision. But usually you know where you want to go, right? Usually you have an idea of what life is going to look like for you in the next, as they say, 3 to 4 years. But if Oklahoma gets him on the campus, you got to feel like Lincoln Riley's going to put the full court press on. And they're going to try to get the kid committed to play with the number 1 quarterback in the class and a guy that he knows and is close with. That's the one thing I think Oklahoma has going for it. Neither Clemson nor Ohio State have that kind of relationship that's being built, right? Kyle McCord is good, right? Clemson's basically taken the off year when it comes to quarterback recruiting. They have one committed, but not as highly ranked as McCord or Williams. Williams is the ace for Oklahoma if there is one. And if you can get JT Tuimoloau over there as well, maybe you can pull off the sweep, in which case you get to shut up people like one RJ Young. But, we'll see. I don't hold my breath. I'm here for it, man. Maybe this will be my Tiger Woods. Maybe that's what that'll be. Yeah, Tiger Woods will never win another master or another major. And then he does. Perhaps. Riley, I dare you. Swing them both. Get JT Tuimoloau and Emeka Egbuka to commit to Oklahoma. I dare you.